I'm Alex Ziska, one of the developers of Bio-Dem, and in this second tutorial I'll show you how to explore the temporal dimension of specimen collection in countries across the world using Bio-Dem. Alright, so in the first tutorial we have seen how to explore the availability of biological occurrence records across countries across the globe. Now we look at the second functionality of Bio-Dem, which is to explore the number of occurrence records through time in selected countries. So to do that, we have to scroll down a little bit to the second plot of Bio-Dem, this one, which is, as you can see, a bar chart. And here the x-axis is time from 1960 until the present, and there are two different y-axes. The first y-axis is related to the colored bars, which show the number of occurrence records available from GBIF in every year. So each bar represents 1 year. The color of the bars represent the political system in that country at that time. And note the logarithmic scale here. And then looking at the right y-axis, there's another graph which is referring to the line, which shows the political variable for that country through time. So in this case, freedom of expression. And as for the first plot, there's a huge number of customization methods to explore the effect of political or the relation between political variables and occurrence records through time. So first we can select any country. So currently Sweden is selected, but we can switch, for example, to South Africa. All right, and here you can see there were a number of shifts in political systems through time. The little red blocks on the top of the graph show that in these years there was an armed conflict on the territory of this country. So either a civil war or a war with another country. And what we can do now is to customize the political variable that is shown. For example, we can change from freedom to expression to oligarchy, as we have shown in the last plot, which is very similar in that case, but we can also, for example, use the GDP per capita or any other of the same variables as for the first plot. What else we can do is that we can focus on certain taxa here. For example, you might be interested not in plants but in birds, so you can limit the records to birds only, as in this example. Additionally, you can limit the search to either only show records from domestic institutions, so research institutions that are based in this country, to see how the collection activity in this country was compared to foreign scientists going there. Or you could also just show records with a linked photo. And the idea behind this is that you can look at particularly at citizen science projects and see how those increase through time. And as you can see, with the onset of smartphone, the number of available pictures has increased quite a bit in South Africa. As for the first plot, there is an explanatory text for each selected political variable below. And additionally, you can also set some highlight analysis. For example, if we look at the situation in Angola, we can see that there's a relative clear, or there seems to be an impact of conflict on the collection of biological specimens. So during the time of the Angolan Civil War, starting in 1975, we have a strong drop in the availability of occurrence records in that time. Another example is looking at India, for example. So where we can see that there's what is called the emergency, so a period of political turmoil in 1975, which is seen here in the political variable in the regime classification with the color. There's also an effect on the collection of occurrence records or in that time. Very clear one in this case. And there are a couple of other examples as well. And as for the first plot, it's also possible to just generate a graphic from that and export it, for example, for any purpose you have, like a presentation or a paper or something. All right, great. So this is basically what Bio-Dem is and what it can do. So have fun exploring.